Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Glad you could be here. My name is Gengarrr, and today's video will be about this fun little game called Palmon Survival. I'm going to be going over some tips and tricks for all you new players, as the game has a lot of different tasks and activities for you guys to do, so it can get a little overwhelming. I know that was the case for me. So, hopefully you guys find this video useful. If you enjoyed the video, please be sure to subscribe and hit the notification button as well so that you don't miss any of my future videos. I also stream on Twitch at ImGengarrr. Yeah, that's with 3 R's. You can catch me there every now and then, streaming some Valorant, Marvel Rivals, Pokemon Pocket, and many other games. Really hope to see you guys there. I first downloaded this game after seeing ads for it and probably making the same assumption that you guys are all making as well. But after playing the game for a bit, I actually found myself becoming addicted to the game. It has a lot of fun little quirky elements that have caught my attention. I've played Genshin Impact and Honkai in the past, so it might also be that the gambler slop enjoyer in me just really likes grindy pay to win games like this one. I don't know really what to tell you. This game just scratches a specific itch in my smooth and richless brain. I honestly can't help it. By the way, you don't really have to be a pay to win player. This game is actually pretty forgiving to free to play players as well. Anyways, starting off with the first tip, play the tutorial. The most simple and easy to follow version of this game ever will be at the very beginning. Once you get past the tutorial, things get very overwhelming and confusing really fast. So just take the tutorial slow, learn as much as you can. The main objective of the game is to catch wild Palmons in the wild via tasks, rallies, or egg hatching and breeding. More on that later. And getting those acquired Palmons stronger through level ups, ascensions, and skill upgrades, as well as other features. Which brings me to my next tip. Once the tutorial is finished, focus on limiting the amount of Palmons that you actually invest into. Resource management here is key. Select a few Palmons that will actually be useful in the long run, and avoid investing in irrelevant Palmon. Here are a few that I actually recommend. Alright, now switching over to this screen, here you have Ninjump. Surprise, surprise, we see the inspiration. If you can move past that, Ninjump is going to be by far the one and only, probably the best Palmon for you to actually invest in. He is under the Defender category, so every Palmon belongs to different categories in the game. The main two that you will usually be focusing on is going to be defender types and attacker types. Defender types usually have a lot of health, are very bulky in their defense, or they just have a lot of supportive abilities. So going into Ninjump in particular, what makes him the best Palmon for you to actually invest in and actually stick with through the long run is the pure fact that he is probably going to be your best free to play UR. So in the game, there are 3 separate rarities for Palmons. There is SR, which are usually blue Palmons. There are SSR, which are usually purple Palmons. And then there are yellow UR Palmons, which are like the cream of the crop at the very tippity top. So again, Ninjump is one of them. You usually will access him very early on in the game when you finally unlock the hatchery. So in the hatchery, you can actually, use your eggs to hatch for Palmons, and you get a random Palmon. I'll do one right now. And we got this Platypus. He is an SSR, so he's actually a pretty good free-to-play Palmon for you to use. Horrible ability, but we'll go more into abilities at a later time. I actually will not be using this guy, so I am going to be just refunding him or whatever. I can make a video a little bit more into that. It's not something that I'm going to be covering in this video just because I don't think it's that important in the beginning. Anyways, back to Ninjump. So he is definitely going to be a safe bet. You will eventually get him. There is a pity system in the hatchery, so you will eventually get him. He is a really good defender that does a lot of damage, and on top of that, he belongs to one of the most accessible teams attributes in the game, which would be water. This game has a cool little feature where if every single one of your Palmons in your squad belong to the same attribute, you all get a boost. I believe it's just in damage, but I could be wrong. It could also potentially boost your defense and HP, but as far as I'm aware, it's just attack. But yes, Ninjump is going to be a very safe bet for you to actually invest in. Your second Palmon that is a for sure thing to do that you can invest in, it'll be safe, is Lucidina. She is one of the top 2, I want to say, DPS in the game. She is amazing, does a whole buttload of damage, and she has a really good ability, which would be, well, these two are really good. Starting off with this one, it's called Dream Shadow. The more you level it up, the more it increases your crit rate while in combat. Really good, solid ability. But the one that I really like, and a lot of players in the game really like, is this one. It's called Torment. It's basically like Darkrai, and it's a really good crowd control that does a bunch of different things at the same time. So what it does is it pulls a single target, puts them to sleep, and they end up taking more damage while they're asleep. And at the end of that duration of them going to sleep, it explodes. It does a shitload of damage. Now, the only thing about her though is the only way you can access her is through paying with your credit card. Thankfully, it's not a lot of money. I think for me, it was only like $5. So if you don't mind spending a little bit of money, she is definitely worth it. She's going to be good throughout the entirety of the game. When you do get to access UR Palmons, if you do get Bark Plug, definitely another one of the Palmons that I heavily recommend you actually invest in. He will not be your early Palmon acquisition, but when you do end up getting him, just know that, like, oh snap, this guy on YouTube said he is definitely good to invest in, so that's what I'm gonna do. He is another defender, and a really good one at that. He actually does a pretty good amount of damage. He has this really broken ability right here called Ion Disruption, which basically reduces the defense of all of your opponents and like Palmons at the same time while you're in battle. Super good. And then he has an AoE attack that actually hits all targets. It like does a little chain lightning thing, so really good. And he also has a stun here as well. So again, whenever you do get the chance to get Bark Plug, definitely is a must invest in. Now when it comes to early game acquisition of Palmons, these are the ones that I heavily recommend you invest in. Starting with Meowdame. She has this really awesome ability here called Miracle Maker. Whenever you bring her into battle and you beat these two little, they're like CPUs, enemies, she will heavily increase the rewards that you get from those battles, so really good. And then she has this ability right here called Starlight Blessing. It grants an allied Palmon bonus damage for around 5 seconds, so she's a really good support who is also an attacker, so really good. Definitely recommend. Belongs to the water attribute, so whenever you do get that free to play Ninjump early on, you know how the ball just starts rolling and you start making a really scary and really good water team that's just heavily buffed by damage. The next water type I definitely recommend would be Platyputs. I think a lot of the ones that I'm going to recommend are all water, honestly. Platyputs is going to be really good defender. He minimizes the damage that he takes by playing dumb, and then he also grants a shield to the Palmon on your team with the lowest HP at random every couple of seconds. So really good defender. If you do invest in him, you're not going to regret it, even after you get more Palmons that are even higher rarity than this one. The other two I recommend are actually damage dealers. We have Squeezel here. I'm not going to go too in depth with this one, but pretty good investment opportunity there. And then this one, Snowkami. If you do end up getting him, I don't believe he's a early acquisition type of Palmon. I didn't get him until like way later into the game, but if you do get him early on, I do know he comes out in the hatchery, or if you ever get him at some point, he's actually really good as well. Mainly because he has also like a CC, which is crowd control, in which he can freeze your enemy Palmon. So he's pretty good. Definitely recommend investing in him. Now that you have selected a solid team, we move on to one of the many features provided in this game. Despite the name survival, this game is mainly a war-based game. This game has a guild feature, and deciding what kind of player you want to be in this game is extremely important. You can either join an already established guild, you can do this blindly by applying a random open guild, or by making a case for yourself in one of the many chats in the game that game offers. This has many benefits such as perks that the guild unlocks as a collective, and access to other players that can answer your questions. If you decide to make your own guild because you want to take something from the ground up, my only advice would be to choose your gathering location carefully before you start recruiting. I suggest looking for level 1 shrines. I accidentally set up near a level 6 shrine that I have no way of capturing, because you actually need to make your way up shrine levels to capture higher level ones. This isn't really explained right off the get-go, so please be aware that recruiting will be very difficult, but if you are determined to make conversation with people, and you are bound to make some allies. When you do want to reach out to different players in the game, the way you do that is by hitting here. You will see this little tiny right here icon, this little chat icon next to where it says Palmon on the far left. Once you click it, it'll show you world, English, and then dojo. The main two that you're going to be focusing on, world and English. So world means when you're chatting here, it's going to be connecting you to everyone in this entire server from all over the world. If you want to be just focused on English speakers, I believe this English can change to Spanish or other languages depending on what you select as your main language. But if you want to go to just to your specified language, so that you only speak to people of that language, then you would hit that right there. But again, the world chat. So if you ever want to, say like, hey, I'm a new player, blah, 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 you will post it here. And then that's where you kind of, again, you make conversation, you make acquaintances. You can even ask like, hey, I'm recruiting, anybody want to join? Or like, hey, I'm a new player, is there any guild that is willing to take me in? So, hey, I'm recording right now. Say hi, YouTube. Speaking of shrines, it is important to you and your guild to occupy shrines at some point. Not only do they make certain UR Palmons accessible once their home shrine is occupied, but they also grant lots of perks for your guild. For example, if you see here, there is this level 6 craftsman Chen. I'm not going to pronounce that, but there's this level 6 shrine here. Again, once you occupy it, it gives you certain buffs. So for this buff right here, it gives you construction speed 20% for your entire guild, which is really, really, really good. Usually they're all on a timer. So you cannot declare war on this shrine for a chance to occupy it until this timer runs out. Now, usually around these shrines, you will see these type of Palmons wandering around. These are usually all UR Palmons. If you can see here, it says you can only attack this UR once the shrine that it belongs to is actually occupied. So that's why it is important that eventually you either set up near a shrine so that you have easier access to these Palmons, but also you get the buffs. As you can see here, my little guild right here is attacking. You can attack anywhere in this world. Say that there's a Palmon way over here, a UR Palmon, right? And you decide, okay, I'm gonna go attack it and then try and catch it. Your Palmon actually have to make that, like, they have to travel all the way there. So the further away a Palmon is, the longer it's gonna take for you to wait to actually get that Palmon. So say that the whole process is gonna take 3 minutes for your Palmon to get there, and then 3 minutes to get back. That means that once those 3 minutes are there, you get there, you beat it, you catch it, you waited 3 minutes just to even try and catch it, and then let's say you want to go for a different one at a certain amount of distance, you have to wait 3 more minutes for that Palmon to come all the way back to your base, and then you can send them out. So that's why positioning is very, very important. So you got to think ahead a little bit. Make sure you prioritize your camp level above all else. I would highly advise that you only upgrade what is required of you by your camp. The higher the camp level, the higher the level cap on your Palmon. You also get access to more rewards. The game does a really good job at showing you roadblocks that guide you in the right direction when it comes to upgrading your buildings. Farming, 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 and farming. This is a great game to hop on, do your dailies, and then get out. With that in mind, please be sure that you do the following to receive a ton of rewards. PvP battles. Here you can battle against other player squads and face off. The higher you climb, the more rewards you are awarded. You access this by going right here. It's a little cluttered, but it'll say it's this little hut here. You eventually unlock it. It's called Adventure. It's called Palaceum. So once you go there, it shows you what your rank is. You get a bunch of rewards depending on where you place. Again, like I previously mentioned, the higher you climb, the more rewards you get, and it's really, really cool. You get to choose your like Palmon lineup or whatever, and you just face off against other players and their squads. They're not actually actively playing against you. It's usually a bot that takes care of it, but that is the PvP version of this game that it does have to offer. So definitely make sure that whenever you do get the chance to actually partake in this, that you actually do. It gives you a lot of rewards. Also gives you access to these prestige points, which basically let you buy these very, very, very expensive but valuable rewards. So definitely make sure that you farm that as well. You get, I believe, 4 tickets every day, so you get to battle for free. If you decide you really want to climb and want to keep battling, you can just buy with actual currency, and it does get higher in terms of how much it requests from you to keep battling, the more you keep doing it. So just definitely keep that in mind. Your airships as well. Make sure that you send your squad whenever you are able to. If possible, try to roll for a UR ship, as these give out the most valuable resources possible whenever you are doing that. So just make sure that when you do get the chance to send out your squad out on the airship, that you actually take it. Same way, you go to the adventure, you go to airship, you go to airship trading, and then I got attacked here a little bit. So just make sure that you collect your rewards as soon as possible, because these things do get rated by players. It tells you right here. You can then mark them so that whenever you see their ship, you know, you can get your get back. But each of these ships will give you a lot of rewards. You get a free re-roll. So then you hit that, and then it just tells you the rarity there. Normal, there's SR, SSR, and then UR. Obviously, the higher the rarity, the more awesome rewards you actually get. And then you use these little tokens here to keep spinning it until you get a desired UR. I'm not really going to do that, but you know, again, do this whenever you get the chance. Definitely worth it. I believe you get 4 airplanes that you can, you know, traverse on a day as well, similar to the guild or the PvP battle thing that I just showed you previously. Next is idle battling, probably the easiest thing on this game. Battle against random Palmon waves. The higher you reach, the more rewards can be earned. Just be careful, the waves do get stronger, which then prompts you to have to get stronger as well. After a certain amount of time has passed, you are able to collect small rewards that accumulate over time, and I'll show you exactly what that looks like. So again, to access that, you're gonna hit this little idle thing on the far right here. As time goes on, you can see this little chest that says claim. Essentially what your Palmon are doing is, while your phone is off, while you're not playing actively playing, they'll just battle, collect points. You hit claim, and then you can get all of these rewards basically for free. You don't have to do anything. Now, after that, what you can do is, again, this is where the wave aspect comes into play. You hit battle, select your lineup, and then you battle. You can just let it play out so you can get a more detailed view of like, okay, this is what my Palmon is doing. Maybe I should fix it and, you know, change it up. Or if you don't care, you can just hit the fast forward button and then you fight. And I lost because I'm already, you know, at that stage. But the more you win, the more rewards you actually get right here. One tip of advice is, if you notice that it was a really close call and you still lost, keep doing it, because the more you do it, sometimes the outcome will change. But if you notice that you got completely washed, let's say they have 3 more Palmons and you only had 1, yeah, it's a wrap. Just go back, hit the lab again, get your Palmon stronger, and then go back, because you are most likely going to continue getting outmatched no matter how many times you try. Next is actually treasure hunting. When you're able to, please try and set out for legendary treasure hunts. They award the most resources. This is also the only way for you to actually receive wreaths, which are needed for breeding your Palmons. I will be making a video separately about breeding in Palmon, but the general gist is Palmon have different traits / abilities in the game that have different effects. A Palmon can only have a max of 4 traits, varying in different rarities, S being the highest, A being second highest, B being, you know, mediocre, and C, which must be avoided at all times. These are usually all negative effects on your Palmon. When you breed 2 Palmon, there's a chance for the offspring to acquire the traits of its parents. You will need different wreaths depending on the highest rarity Palmon that is being used for the breeding process. Blue, purple, and yellow for SR, SSR, and UR respectively. So let's say that you're back in the camp. To access the map treasure hunt stuff, you're going to go all the way to the very bottom right. You're going to hit world, and then you're going to hit this little map thing under that giant blimp that you see on the left. You're going to hit that. Let me claim my legendary one right now. And it gives you a bunch of different treasure pieces. This is why I say that, please, if you are able to, only venture out for legendary treasure hunt thingy or whatever's. They give you the most rewards. It's the only thing that really makes it worth it. Until you get a good enough squad to be able to you know, send them out, purple rarity should be okay. But please avoid the ones that are just like, oh, little tiny resources. not worth it. What you really want to get out of this little feature is wreath farming, essentially. Once you collect all of the little map fragments, you hit treasure hunt and you get 1 out of 3 chests possible. I got a normal one, I believe, which gave me common love wreath, which is honestly not that bad. And you just keep doing the same thing over and over again. Just to give you another tip as well, once you join a guild or make your guild, you can actually set up what you're looking for specifically, and your guild mates could actually help you. So here you can put, I get this piece that I'm missing, and they get, usually I put one of the ones that I have in abundance. You can also hit guild mates here, and you can see they also post themselves as well. So you can see what you get, and you can see what you give them. So if you ever want to help them out, you do this as well. Definitely recommend doing this. Grind that whenever you get a chance. That's all for this video. I'm sure I am forgetting a lot of other things. There's just so much in this game. So if you have any questions, comment down below, and I will do my best to either answer them in the comment section below or make a video on the question itself. Next video will be more detailed explanation of the breeding process in the game. I may also just make a highly recommended Palmon video as well. This game has a pretty large player base, and it's filled with drama and threats of war. I've never played a game like this, and I have found myself really enjoying it, honestly, so I really hope you guys do too. I appreciate you guys sticking to the end of the video if you did, and catch you guys in the next video. Bye bye.